On the news tonight, principal of Metu Memorial Secondary School Onitsha Ogili to face dismissal. Bazan Memorial Special Education Center Isulo Alumni Association seeks more intervention to reposition school. ECOWAS Parliament must clamp down on environmental exploitation. U.S. lawmaker Santos expelled from Congress over dozens of criminal charges. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. A beautiful good evening to you and glad to have you join us on the news tonight. My name is Maureen Stone Enuchoke. The principal of Metu Memorial Secondary School Onitsha, Dr. Fidelia Ogili, has been asked to step down as the principal of the school for going against the mandate of Governor Chukwuma Soludo on free and compulsory education for GSS students of the school. This is contained in a release signed by the chairman, Post-Primary School Service Commission, PPSSC, Oka, Professor Nkechi Ikedigu. According to the release, it was gathered that on a PTA meeting that was held on 23rd of November 2023, she asked the parents to pay 1,700 each for the payment of PTA teachers. Students whose parents were absent from the PTA meeting were asked to pay 1,000 naira each, while students whose parents were absent from the school orientation program were levied 1,000 naira each as well. The release noted that Dr. Ogili, in addition to the above, also asked students to pay 250 naira each as the first-term examination levy. Remember that 6 principals were suspended some months back for flouting the free education policy of the state government, but were later pardoned, and when they were recalled, there was an agreement between Governor Soludo and the principals that anyone who defaults again will face dismissal. Based on the agreement, the principal of Metu Memorial Secondary School Onitsha, Dr. Ogili, is therefore asked to hand over all the school property in her possession to the vice principal administration of the school with immediate effect and proceed to PPSSC headquarters, Oka, for further actions. The Alumni Association of Basden Memorial Special Education Center, Isulo, in Orumba South local government area has called on Anambra State government, philanthropists, and public-spirited individuals to help reposition the school and equip students with necessary materials to enhance teaching and learning in the school. Correspondent Joseph Ebocha now reports.
Speaking at a symposium held at Professor Kenneth Dike Central E-Library, Oka, the national president of Basden Memorial Special Education Center Alumni Association, Barrister Onyinye Evuire, said though limited in some ways, the association has been doing its part in addressing challenges students at the center face, but said that government attention is direly needed for more impact in repositioning the state-owned special education center. The symposium with the theme, A Call to Action on Special Education and Healthcare for Persons with Disabilities, was designed to bring together experts, policymakers, and stakeholders to discuss the challenges and opportunities facing the special education and healthcare sector in the state, and to raise awareness on the needs of people with special needs, advocate improved services and support for them. Barrister Evuire, who was among pioneer students of the school and now a principal state counsel with the Federal Ministry of Justice, said the Special Education Center has produced hundreds of persons in different professions and called on parents who have children with disabilities to bring them out so they can be nurtured and contribute to societal development, noting that disability is not the end of life.
The school has produced hundreds of students in different professions. We have so many lawyers, doctors, and others in different disciplines. So many are not aware. Disability is not the end of one's life.
Anambra State Chairman of the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, JONAPID, Comrade Ugochukwu Okeke, represented by Comrade Philip Onwuboya, said the association is aware of the challenges facing the center, has visited and ensured that issues affecting persons with disabilities, especially that of students at the center, were taken into consideration in preparing the 2024 budget of the Anambra State government, adding, however, that implementing the budget is key to addressing the challenges.
JONAPID has made sure that issues of BASDEN have been captured in the in
line with achieving inclusive education, the JONAPID chairman called for recruitment of more persons with disabilities in the ongoing teachers recruitment exercise, recommended that teachers living with disabilities be allowed to teach in regular school and vice versa, and that regular schools be made disability friendly. Anambra State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chiumude, represented by the Acting Director of Educational Services, Mrs. Ifomo Onyeneke, said the ministry has commenced action to address erosion challenge facing the Special Education Center in Oka. Joseph Ebocha reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra State government has strengthened the campaign of total ban on street trading, hawking, building illegal structures and drainage systems, and display of wares on walkways across the state. The Managing Director of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade, Comrade Celestine Anere, stated this while speaking to the press after he led a crack team to raid street traders in Onitsha metropolis ahead of the Yuletide. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike filed the report.
Explaining the reason for confiscating the goods and services worth millions of naira, Comrade Anere said that the command had on several occasions warned and given notice to street traders in Onitsha to vacate the roads, but regretted that the warnings fell on deaf ears. He emphasized the state government's commitment to ensuring the safety and security of Anambra while maintaining order on the highways. According to the Ocha Brigade boss, the task force of the brigade has been collaborating with vigilante groups to eradicate the problem of street trading, which he said obstructs the free movement of vehicles, pedestrians, and to curtail the nefarious activities of some hawkers who rob motorists along major routes such as Sokoto Road, Main Market, Onitsha Mosque Road, Bridgehead, among others. While noting that the move is part of the renewed efforts to ensure a cleaner, safer, and healthier environment, he appealed to the state citizenry to collaborate with the state government in achieving the vision of transforming Anambra into a mega city instead of losing their goods and services, especially this youth side. From Onitsha, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
And still to come on the news, ECOWAS Parliament must clamp down on environmental exploitation. U.S. lawmaker Santos expelled from Congress over dozens of criminal charges. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. We shall be back after the break. Stay with us.
We are passionate about two things in Nigeria. The first is football. The second is our rice. And nobody celebrates like a Nigerian. So, for every goal scored, every mark made, you can be sure to always come back home to rice. Celebrate with Nigerian Premium Big Bull Rice, homegrown just like you. Big Bull Rice, tasty rice, nourished you.
Glad to know you're still watching. The Joint Committee of the ECOWAS Parliament on Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources, Legal Affairs and Human Rights, Social Affairs, Gender and Women Empowerment are considering drafts focused on the need to adopt a regulation on combating the exploitation and illegal trade of wild species in West Africa and restricting the use of plastics in the sub-region. ABS Abuja Bureau Chief Princess Ekwajide tells us more.
Head of Environment and Climate Change Division of the ECOWAS Commission, Bernard Kofi, presented the draft to the committee for consideration, saying the regulation is developed in line with the vision and mission of the ECOWAS region to protect the species for future generations. He told the Joint Committee that this draft's regulation's objective is to establish a legal framework and institutional work to reduce and combat the overhunting in member states through regional cooperation. After an extensive deliberation, the chairman of the Joint Committee, Ahi Samson, said the drafts are of great importance so as not to develop at the expense of the environment. In an interview, Sina Alupi harped on the need for continuous sensitization of the citizens on dangers associated with the use of plastics and degradation of the environment. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
The U.S. House of Representatives has expelled Congressman George Santos following a damning ethics report and dozens of criminal charges. To hell will this place, Mr. Santos told reporters as he left the Capitol. The New York Republican is only the 6th lawmaker in history to be removed from the lower chamber of Congress and the first since 2002. His tenure was marked by multiple lies about his past and allegations of fraud, all revealed after his election. Friday's was the third attempt to oust Mr. Santos after 2 previous votes failed. The 35-year-old from Queens made a quick exit from the Capitol before the vote ended, as its outcome became clear, rushing past a swarm of reporters and into a waiting SUV. Lawmakers backed the expulsion resolution from 311 to 114, with 206 Democrats and 105 Republicans voting in favor. In our sports, Nigeria have dropped 2 places in the latest FIFA men's rankings for the month of November. The Super Eagles, who were ranked 40th in the world in the ranking released in October, dropped 16 points to 42nd. The Eagles' drop in the rankings was largely due to their poor start to the 2026 World Cup qualifiers earlier this month. Jose Peserios' men began the World Cup qualifiers series with a 1-1 draw against Lesotho at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. They followed the result up with another underwhelming performance against Zimbabwe, playing another 1-1 draw in Rwanda. The result means that the Eagles gathered just 2 points from a possible 6 and trail Rwanda and South Africa, who are first and second, respectively, in their Group C. Nigeria's disappointing displays during the World Cup qualifiers, their only games in the month under review, have seen them drop 2 places in the FIFA rankings released on Thursday. On the African continent, the 3-time African champions remain 6th. It was all testimony of a life lived in generosity, love for family, and godliness during the burial of late Chief Josiah Chukwuma Chinemelu at Nimo, Njikoka Council area. Late Mr. Chukwuma, who was laid to rest at his country home at Umudiaba in Nimo, had family, friends, and well-wishers came to pay their last respects. Correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwudi brings more details.
In his homily during the funeral mass at the family compound, one of the officiating priests, Reverend Father Francis Emesiobi, who drew his lesson from the Bible's reading, admonished those present to eschew enmity and judiciously use godly blessings for the betterment of humanity and never allow earthly wealth to deny them salvation.
Anybody knows, I said, do and live as you believe. You cannot be a Christian and go and begin to struggle with the pagans where they do one thing or the other.
The first daughter of the deceased, Mrs. Kenechukwu Okeke, who is also the proprietress of Holy Ghost International School, Oka, described the late father as a loving man who was generous to the needs of those around him and those who seek his assistance. His absence, she emphasized, will be missed. Describing the deceased in the same manner, Mr. Vincent Chinemelum, his eldest son, noted that his father was a giver to the core, as he likes sharing with those in need, a hardworking man too, who never jokes with his Catholic faith.
An in-law to the family, Mr. Patrick Okeke, said the deceased was a good man who he shared good times with. and advised all to live positively as the Bible instructs, while a grandson, Mr. David Ifeanyi, explained that his grandpa was a jovial man who always lightened the atmosphere with laughter whenever he's around. Chief Igwede Mamolohu, a family friend, emphasized that the deceased always stood on the path of truth and justice, raised godly children, urging his children to always follow his footsteps, as his absence would be felt. Late Mr. Chinedu, who died at the age of 75, was in the Biafra Army during the Civil War, a businessman based in Olo, Imo State, and an active member of his community. Many came to condole his family, including retired Deputy Inspector General of the Nigerian Police Force, Celestine Okoye, Holy Ghost Ministry Church, Oka, and host of other persons and group. From Nimo, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page, follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service, subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Oka, on X at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now a recap of the main points before we go. Principal of Metu Memorial Secondary School Onitsha Ogili is to face dismissal. Basden Memorial Special Education Center Isulu Alumni Association has sought more intervention to reposition school. ECOWAS Parliament has mauled clampdown on environmental exploitation. And on the foreign scene, U.S. lawmaker Santos has been expelled from Congress over dozens of criminal charges. To end the news, the special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that was it on the news for tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. Good night and stay blessed.
It's time for Golden Season, Golden Time to Win. The rules are simple. Place bets on any sports event. Get promotional ticket. Take part in